So I was gonna post something probably different, uh, most likely about the ship captain who last year is now going to court, but couldn't really think of what to say to that, and it's kind of funny, not gonna lie, but the the Zimmerman case is apparently not done yet. I mean, yes, he's acquitted, but the NCAA wants to apparently bring him to court for civil rights charges, which I don't genuinely understand the difference between federal cases and state cases. Like, I would think that even on state level, to bring them federally would still be double jeopardy, but I'm not a fucking law expert, so I don't know. But it's also, again, different charges, I guess, so maybe it's fair. I don't know. But a juror this week, after the case, basically said that George Zimmerman was within his rights to shoot Trayvon Martin, and he didn't do anything unlawful, and oh yeah, a bunch of other shit that just pissed people off. So much so that the other jurors had to come out and say that her views are not theirs. That her views do not represent the entirety of that jury. And I gotta say, as much as I'm appalled with the George Zimmerman verdict, I have a little more respect for the person who said that she felt he was justified in his reaction. I have a little more respect for her than I do for the one crying hysterically because she wanted to find George Zimmerman guilty. It's called calling him fucking guilty. Nobody was there. The only person who was there was sitting in the courtroom refusing to give testimony. He was the only person that was there with Trayvon Martin. If you thought he did it, then you could have pled him guilty. You didn't have to say not guilty. You didn't have to feel that unless you can find unequivocally that he's guilty. They supported enough evidence to poke holes in the fucking defenses. Like, this is the problem with fucking court. They always say you have to find him with beyond a reasonable doubt, but the fucking defense stands there and says they have done nothing to prove that he fucking did anything wrong. And the prosecution stands there and says the defense wants you to believe this bullcrap story. But the truth of the matter is 3 weeks happened, okay? 10 days or whatever the fuck it was. Okay, about 2 weeks. I apologize. But, so what happened during those 2 weeks? Nothing? Because obviously some of that time must have been spent poking holes in your story. So really, at the end of the day, it always comes down to personal opinion. If you believe he did it or you did, you don't fucking spend 3 or 2 fucking days crying and trying desperately to find George Zimmerman guilty, but you just can't because there's no proof he did it. There's no proof he didn't do it. Let's fucking be completely fucking honest on that one. It's a fucking joke. But, in brighter news, Stevie Wonder refuses to play in Florida until they overturn this. Stevie Wonder doesn't get to play in Florida anyway. They're still pissed off at him for siding with siding with fucking Al Gore. Actually, I don't genuinely know. I just assume. But beyond that, it's hysterically funny that a Republican congressman from Maryland basically said, "Get over it." Or, in the white man translation, "Nigga be dead. Shut the fuck up." I wish that the news would stop playing it all the time too, but unfortunately there's peaceful protests everywhere, because people are pissed off. Or maybe you don't get that. It was one thing when they let the baby killer go free down in Florida. It's quite another thing when they have now acquitted their second high-profile crime, proving that they are, in fact, the limp dick state. Florida is America's limp dick. It's flaccid, it needs Viagra, and it can't get it up even when an attractive 20-year-old blonde walks in, just like 90% of the residents down there. Thank you. Next week I'll try to do something new.